Clearly there has been progress, and I think in 2017, which I think was the year that letter was written that Manjari referred to earlier, that was the first year that you had more women in the profession than men, outnumbering those entering at that time. Women are very attracted to law. We see in the new entrants joining the role last year, nearly 2/3 were women. 2/3 of law graduates are women, but we have this really stubborn issue of there isn't equality. We're still some way off equity for women in law. It's already been said by others here that there's a big problem in terms of retention and in terms of progression. Last year, we did a piece of work looking at the progress that's been made over the past 4 years, the first 4 years of gender pay gap reporting. One thing I would say is, echoing what's already been said as well, that it's clearly on the agenda now. It's on the agenda because clients have put it there. It's on the agenda because there's women who have been in the law for some time now and are frustrated at the rate of progress. But we did a piece of work looking at gender pay gap reporting, and we saw that in those first 4 years, the gender pay gap within law firms, and this isn't including partners, and this is the figures reported to government, the gender pay gap is on average twice the national average in those largest law firms at 20%. Over the 4 years of gender pay gap reporting, where I've heard from law firms, it's really put it on that senior level agenda, and people are beginning to talk about it more and saying, what are we doing? But it's only narrowed by 1.4 percentage points on average across the firm. And a rough calculation, very unscientific calculation, but you think that's another whole working life for women to get to equality at the current rate of progress. So I think it is increasingly being talked about. There are a lot of really good initiatives that are having some impact, but they have been quite individual focused, I think. And some of the client pressure is very focused on the numbers. But on the other hand, I think clients are still making demands of law firms that aren't particularly helping matters in changing the ways people work and what's required of particularly commercial lawyers. So there's a big way to go, but I think everybody is keen to talk about it. And I'd echo one more thing quickly that Bola said as well, is since I've joined the Law Society, I haven't spoken to a senior person who hasn't recognised the importance of diversity and inclusion. But when you start having the conversation, sometimes that reveals things I think we need to talk about up front about what we mean by equality, diversity and inclusion. And quite often I've had the moments where very supportive of diversity, and then there's almost an additional, but we still need to appoint on merit. Like somehow there's going to be a compromise made that they don't want to see happening. And I think we've got to tackle this issue of what does merit mean? All of the evidence that Manjari's referred to earlier shows that, good performance in complex knowledge-based environments comes from having diversity. It's integral to merit and top performance.